Hi everyone, can you please let me know if you can see me and if you can see my screen, if you can hear me properly? If yes, you can just type a yes in the chat box or you can also respond with a thumbs up. All right. Okay, great. Thank you for your confirmation. So I hope that you all are doing well. And we are back with our Essentials Concept Clarity series. We've had about 5, 6 sessions so far, and we genuinely hope that this series is helping you with your entrance exams, college exams, preparation, and so on. So, the topic that we're going to be covering today is extremely important. It is actually one of the subjects that a lot of students are scared about. Can you guess what the topic is? We have actually put it on the WhatsApp groups as well. But when I say that students are scared of this topic, I am assuming that you already know which subject we are talking about. Yes, stats. Absolutely correct. And there's a crying emoji also. So that is why we are covering this unit. We are going ahead with statistics because we do not want you to be afraid of stats anymore, right? Yes, stats research methodology. All right. So there are some students who are new in today's class, and for them, I would just like to introduce the cyclopedia and give an introduction of me and Manvi. So the Cyclopedia is actually a psychology based educational platform. We help students prepare for entrance exams such as CUET PG, UGC NET, MPhil SCI, which was previously known as MPhil, through our preparation courses. We have an experience of about 4 years and we have helped a lot of students get into different universities of their choice. My qualifications personally, I have cleared UGC NET with 98.9 percentile, GATE exam with F46. My master's was from Christ Central Campus, and I've also cleared CUET with 280. And Manvi has also completed a master's in psychology from Delhi University recently, and coincidentally, both of us got the same score in CUET, 280. Yes. So we had launched our CUET PG batch a few days back, and about most of our early bird seats are already filled. And I guess 2 days back, we had also launched our MCLIN Sci and UGC NET combined preparation course. In that also, a lot of seats are already filled. Yes. So that is about what we have for you. Before we start today's class, I actually want to know from you that how many of you are bachelor students, how many of you are master students. Can you just put your academic qualifications in the chat box? Absolutely happy to be a part of the preparation batch. We are honestly more happy to have you as our students, so we should thank you for trusting us with your preparation journey. We are looking forward to teaching you in our classes. Yes, so can you put first year bachelor's, second year bachelor's, third year bachelor's, first year master's, second year master's, like that, if you can tell us, so we will adjust our level of teaching accordingly. So I see that it is very diverse. Most of you are from masters, so I presume you must be preparing for UGC NET or the MPhil exams. Very few are from bachelors, right? Bachelors heavy to third year, fourth year bachelors. All right. So Rishika will be taking over today's session, and she is actually pursuing MCLIN Sci from Christ University, Bangalore currently. And she is a great resource person. Subjects like stats and research, she has a great hold over them. And I am very confident that by the end of the session, whatever fear you have, that will definitely reduce. You will get more and more clarity on the things, and you will learn a lot of new things, right? So, yes, over to you, Rishika. And I guess we can also have a pre post kind of a thing before the session. What is your confidence level with stats from 1 to 10? And then after the session is done, we can ask you for the same rating once again. Yeah, so this will be uploaded on YouTube actually, so you can refer to it from there also. 0 on 10, इतना तो कम confidence नहीं हो सकता किसी का. Again, 0 on 10, 2 on 10. Okay, 6 on 10 is good. 3 on 10 is also there. 5 on 10. Okay. Right. So thanks for your ratings. It gives us an idea as to where you lie currently. So yes, over to you, Rishika. You can come in, you can start, and looking forward to a great session.
And could you please tell me if everyone can see me, hear me? Yes? Okay, great. Before I start, I'll just quickly share my screen. Could you tell me if you can see my screen as well? Yeah, so I'm hoping everyone can see me, see the screen, and hear me loud and clear. Okay, great. Welcome everyone. As Vithi mentioned, my name is Rishika Tapadia, and I'll be the resource person for research and stats. And I'm extremely excited to be here and to be interacting with all of you. I have noticed that काफी varied courses से बच्चे हैं, varied levels से बच्चे हैं, and the confidence level on an average is a little low only. So I'm really hoping that after today's session, you will get an understanding of how the course will look to help you understand what the teaching style will be. And what we will be doing is throughout the course, um, I will be explaining you topics in a very simplified manner, and I will structure it in a manner जिससे आपको exam तक याद रहे, hopefully using a lot of real life examples. We will also be solving a lot of PYQs, a lot of general MCQs. And in the MCQs, what we will also be looking at is कि a lot of times it happens that despite knowing little bit about the topic, you are not able to solve the MCQs. Yeah. So we will also be understanding how to tackle those kind of questions, what strategy we can use to go ahead and do that. Yeah. Now, before we start, just want to let you know that we have chosen one specific topic for today's session. So it will not be possible for us to cover everything on that topic, but abhi we will be touching upon it. We will be understanding the core principles and mechanisms. Core principles and mechanisms, and every topic, every concept in detail, we will be covering in the course eventually. Okay. Now, is my camera still not clear? Is it still an issue?
Maybe you can try to turn your camera off if that saves some internet bandwidth for some time.
Ha, it's okay. This is fine.
Yes.
I hope everyone can see my screen and hear me. I think that is what is the most important. That is fine, right?
Yes, we can hear you. And also on the tab, can you just like swipe this meeting icon that is
Yeah, yeah.
appearing? Yes. Thank you so much. It's
Okay.
clear now.
All right. Great. So, under stats and research, today what we've decided to go ahead with is experimental designs. Now, in experimental designs, what are the few topics that we will be covering? We'll try to understand a brief introduction to the experimental design, understand the different research variables that is there. We'll try to touch upon the types of experimental design, and we will end with solving 10 MCQs, and I will be opening the floor for questioning for question and answers as well. That will be the general layout. Now, जब भी हम research पढ़ते हैं in general, yeah, I am so whenever we talk about research, we talk about three primary approaches that we take. Yeah. What are these approaches? First, we have the quantitative approach. Quantitative approach basically deals with data which can be quantified in some form or the other. Okay. We have qualitative data. जिसमें generally we utilize a lot of texts and documents to interpret our data. We use a lot of codes and theme generation. And lastly, we have mixed methods, जिसमें quantitative and qualitative दोनों के elements mix होते हैं. Yeah. Now these three research designs are very different, but what all of these is differentiated by is what is the purpose that they are solving in the research area, and what is the different philosophical underpinnings that is there. Given the nature of the research designs, हम data किस तरीके से collect करते हैं? that also differs a lot, and how we analyze also differs. Talking about experimental design, that comes under the quantitative part of it. Yeah, I think सिर्फ ये समझाने में कि quantitative qualitative क्या होता है, difference क्या है, mixed methods, it'll take a lot of time. So that I think we will cover in the course, that when we start that. But today we will quickly touch upon the experimental design, which will come under the quantitative aspect of it. But before starting, I just also want to understand ki, what is the level of understanding right now regarding this particular topic. So I'm presenting a very brief experimental style research study. And what I want you all to do is quickly pinpoint anything that you can find over here. It can be the different variables, it can be the different groups. If you know the terms of these groups, if you can guess which experimental design type this is, you can just write it in the chat box. Anything जो आप identify कर पा रहे हो. Experimental and control group, very good. Can you tell me which group is experimental, which group is control? Very good. So the coffee consumption is our IV, which is independent variable. Okay. You are saying there is attention, which is DV. Very good. Sleep quality is also the DV. So DV is both sleep quality and attention. Okay. Group is not given any condition. Okay. The group which is not given any condition, is that experimental or control? Correlational research is there. Okay. Khushi, you hold on to that thought. That is something that we will go ahead and also talk about and clarify. Okay. Very good, Divin Surbi. It is the control group. So the condition, that group जिसमें कोई भी condition नहीं दिया गया है, that is our control group. Okay. So this particular group, which is receiving a strong cup of coffee, is our experimental group. Yeah. The third group, which did not receive any coffee, is our control group. Okay. Very good, mate. There is placebo group also. This second group is basically our placebo group. Very good. Decaffeinated coffee. Vijita, as and when I'll be explaining the placebo group, right? I will make sure to also come back to this and explain that to you. When you read about the placebo group, I'm sure you will be able to understand what this means. Okay. And sample is selected by randomization. Okay. Now you are saying that the sample is selected by randomization. What else is happening? Correct. There is random assignment happening. Okay. What you are saying, that the sample is selected at random, that is a slightly different concept. And a lot of kids also, you know, get confused in these two things. So there is something known as random sampling, and there is something known as random assignment. I will make sure that as and when it proceeds, हम ये पढ़ेंगे और. Very good. The energy drink over here is our extraneous variable. Very good. Okay. So noise also. Okay. Now, are you sure noise is the extraneous variable and not anything else? Ha. Very good. Random sampling. random assignment. Okay, chalo. So now I'm understanding the baseline. There is basic understanding of what the different variables might be, but I'm also noticing thoda confusion in terms of the difference between confounding variables, extraneous variables, random sampling, random assignment, the different groups that is there. So we will go ahead and have a full clear picture of what experimental research is, what are these different variables. यहाँ पे we are talking about only 4 variables, but there are actually a lot more variables that come into play when we talk about experimental and other research designs as well. For example, you have moderating variable, you have mediating variable, and so on. Okay, so in the course, upcoming courses, we will go ahead and clarify each and everything. And I'm hoping all your doubts, at least around this particular topic, is going to be cleared by the end of it. Okay, now we have a lot of research designs. ठीक है, हमारे पास काफी सारे tests हैं जो हम already करते हैं. We have correlation, we have regression, we have ANOVA, we have a lot of other parametric tests, we have non-parametric tests. If we have so many options, what is the need of experimental research? What is experimental research doing which other research designs are not being able to do? There's controlled environment. Okay. Cause and effect. Correct. The correct answer for this will be cause and effect. If you notice, कोई और research design नहीं है जो हमें cause and effect भी देता है. Experimental research design helps us understand the causal relationships that exist between the variables. अब जैसे for example, एक experiment conduct किया जिसमें we are trying to understand that heat, which is basically temperature, and aggression के बीच में correlation. So, according to correlation study, we can understand that okay, perhaps heat and aggression might have some correlation. Yeah, correlation how? Over here in this example, it's seeing that there's a positive correlation. Positive correlation basically means कि directly proportional है. As the temperature increases, the aggression will increase. Okay, so correlation is saying that much to us. But is heat the only thing that is contributing to aggression? Can we say that heat is something which is directly causing aggression and there is nothing else? No, correct. There can be a lot of different things also which might be increasing or decreasing the levels of aggression. For example, जब गर्मी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है तो गर्मी बहुत ज़्यादा होती है तो जब भी हम पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट में ट्रैवल करते हैं there's a lot of sweating, a lot more crowding that happens, which can increase our frustration and lead to aggression. Okay, so what is happening over here? Heat is not causing the aggression directly, but there are other factors which might be actually causing the aggression. Okay, so it's almost as if ki heat ke karan there is frustration which is increasing, which might be causing aggression. Okay, correct. Mood can also be causing aggression. So there can be a lot of things which can contribute to aggression. So all of these things, यहाँ पे जो है crowding, traffic congestion, noise, frustration, long waiting lines, mood, all of this can be other factors जो हमारे heat और aggression के बीच का relationship को समझा सकता है. Okay, these other things which can explain this relationship is basically called alternative explanations. Alternative explanations, as the name suggests, different ways to do it. Experimental research design का काम है to make sure, to ensure कि it is only the heat which is causing the aggression and nothing else. If after the experiment design, you can say very strongly with precision कि हाँ heat ही aggression cross कर रहा है और कुछ नहीं, that is when your experimental design might be successful. Okay, so it makes sure that you are eliminating the alternative explanations and coming to a very concrete thing. Now, how do you actually eliminate these alternative explanations? What do? You control a lot of other variables that might be happening, that might be playing a role. And why experimental research design can give you a cause and effect इतना easily? क्यों? क्योंकि बहुत rigorously हम control और manipulate करते हैं. हम क्या control और manipulate करते हैं? अपने IV को. IV is basically our independent variable, which about all of the variables we will be talking in detail in the upcoming slides. Yeah. So experimental design में you can control and manipulate the IV. Yes, we can, because we are controlling the and manipulating the IV. हम समझ सकते हैं क्योंकि change in one variable actually produces a change in another variable. For example, हमारे पास temperature है, हमने temperature increase किया, या तो क्या होगा? टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज किया तो हीट इंक्रीज हो रहा है कि नहीं, हम वो मेजर कर रहे हैं. टेम्परेचर डिक्रीज किया तो हीट तो अग्रेशन इंक्रीज हो रहा है कि नहीं, हम वो मेजर करते हैं. ओके, सो दैट इज हाउ it helps us. I think someone in the chat was mentioning correlation design hai. Okay. Are you now understanding why perhaps it's not a correlation design but a experimental design? Because there's not only the strength and direction between the relationship of variables जो हम correlation में देखते हैं, but over here it's the causal relationship. Yeah. So to understand this better, let's see the correlation versus causation. So correlation basically indicates that two variables are related or vary together. हमें पता है कोई तो relationship है, and correlation हमें strength देगा और direction देगा उस relationship का. Okay? But causation क्या होता है जो हम experimental में देखते हैं? It means that the changes in one variable is directly producing a change in the other variable. Over here we have heat and aggression. हमने जब ऊपर कॉफी एंड ये वाला किया, आप लोगों ने बोला कि कॉफी इज आवर आईवी एंड स्लीप क्वालिटी एंड अटेंशन इज आवर डीवी. दैट बेसिकली मीन्स कि कॉफी का कंजम्पशन हम जिस तरीके से चेंज करेंगे, मैनिपुलेट करेंगे, कंट्रोल करेंगे, उस हिसाब से हम स्लीप क्वालिटी और अटेंशन में चेंजेस देख पाएंगे. Hence why this also becomes an experimental design. Okay. Now, to give you an example, increased stress levels. It can be due to poor sleep quality, but that does not mean that only sleep disturbances is what is causing stress. There can be a lot of other factors causing stress as well. Okay. Alternative explanations, as we've already discussed, it is basically a relationship which might be influenced by other variables, which is extraneous or confounding variables. Now, other variables which is extraneous or confounding variables, उसमें क्या होता है कि I will explain it in slightly more detail in the upcoming slides, but for you to know right now is these are variables जो हम directly अपने experimental design में study नहीं करते हैं. So these are variables which is affecting the study, but it is not our IV or DV also. Okay. And lastly, we have scientific control. Scientific control basically means कि there the experimental research design is being able to establish causality. Why हम cause and effect कर सकते हैं? क्यों? क्योंकि हम अपने IV को manipulate कर रहे हैं, जो extraneous variables है हम उसे control कर रहे हैं. We are randomly allocating participants to conditions and we are measuring the DV. Measuring the DV basically क्या हुआ? IV अगर change किए तो DV भी तो change हो रहा है. DV कैसे change हो रहा है हम उसे measure करते हैं. Okay. So to test whether heat causes aggression or not. So the researchers, what they can do is they can change the temperature conditions while controlling other factors and then compare aggression levels across groups. All right. Okay, I'm noticing कि बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं कि there's a slight echo. I'm just gonna try one thing. You tell me if that is better. Hi, can everyone hear me now? Is this better? Yeah, is हाँ ये ठीक है ना? Okay, fine. All right. Yes. So to get a general overview of the experimental research, what is happening over here? Cause and effect हम समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. हम एक variable को बार बार change करते हैं so that we can understand the effect on the other variable. Okay. Defining feature is control and manipulation. And because it's an experimental design, what we do is we create specific situations lab setting में experimental setups में so that we are ensuring that it is just the IV which is changing our DV. Okay. All right. Now, these two topics we've already discussed. Then there is that one thing that also happens in experimental design is we compare between conditions or groups. Okay. जैसे for example, आप लोगों ने जब पहला वाला ये पढ़ा, इसमें people were saying that there are three groups. One is the experimental group, one is the placebo group, and one is the control group. So basically, what we are doing is there are three different groups. Experimental, placebo, control क्या होता है वो हम अभी discuss करेंगे. But the general idea is कि तीन groups है and we are trying to understand if there is any difference between these three groups. अगर result same है, then perhaps there is no point in us saying that okay, coffee is what is causing sleep. क्योंकि coffee पियो नहीं पियो या decaffeine या decaffeinated coffee पियो सब एक ही बात हो रहा है. Yeah. But if there is a significant difference between each group, then we can clearly assertively mention that yes, coffee is the one which is causing reduction in sleep quality. All right. And then it is a very structured and systematic procedure how we will discuss, and it emphasizes objectivity and replicability. Objectivity basically means कि it is done in the manner जहाँ पे कोई भी subjective interpretation possible नहीं है. Okay, जहाँ पे कोई भी subjective interpretation possible नहीं है in terms that if I am conducting the research, if let's say someone else from you all is conducting the research, we will possibly reach the same conclusion because there is no subjective interpretation. If done in the same manner, we will reach the same conclusions. And replicability matlab, because it's an experimental design, it's lab oriented, you are controlling a lot of things. Is it easy? If I have conducted the research, it is easy that probably Meet can also go and conduct the same research. She can replicate my research and possibly reach the same findings. So that is replicability. All right. Fine. Now there are few characteristics of true experiment. The first is manipulation. We've been talking about manipulation now. जहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? You are systematically changing or you are controlling, you are regulating your IV. आप क्यों IV regulate कर रहे हो? So that आप DV में देख पाओ उसका effect. And this helps us in the causal relationship. Then you have control. Control is basically what? Control will help us understand कि it is just the IV and DV which is playing a role and no other extraneous variables. तो हम क्या करेंगे? We will keep the extraneous variables constant. मतलब जो भी variables हम अपने IV और DV में नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं, उन सबको हम constant रखेंगे या we will try our best to eliminate those so that the effect of IV on DV can be studied properly. Now there is something known as internal validity over here. Internal validity का मतलब क्या होता है? What is internal validity? When we talk about validity ना, हम दो types पढ़ते हैं. एक है internal और दूसरा है external validity. Internal validity in the most basic terms, it is saying that the extent to which the changes in DV is caused by IV and no other uncontrolled factors. तो internal validity बस बता रहा है कि how confidently, correct Riya, how confidently can a study establish the relationship between IB and DB by saying कि कोई और factors नहीं है जो role play कर रहा है. Okay? And in this case, if we are controlling the extraneous variables, automatically हमारा जो internal validity है that will increase. Internal validity increase होगा तो पूरे के पूरे experimental design का research का भी the confidence in the research, the quality of the experimental design will also increase. Okay. Second that we study is the external validity. External validity is basically, it talks about the extent to which the findings of a study, हमारे study का जो भी result है, the extent to which the findings of a study can be generalized to real life situations. Either real life situations हुआ or our population हुआ. So to help you understand this external validity quickly, हमने पहले वाले उसमें देखा था caffeine consumption and sleep के बीच में relationship. Okay, suppose we took 30 kids. Okay, we took 30 college going students and we are doing the experiment on that. जरूरी नहीं है कि हमारा अगर result आया that okay caffeine is having an effect on sleep quality and caffeine is reducing sleep quality, that does not necessarily mean कि that is only true for the 30 students. It is a study which is representing the entire population. हमारा वो जो 30 students है that has been taken from a certain population. Okay, that is called generalizability. कि आप generalize कर पा रहे हो कि नहीं findings. If your study is a good study, that means that the external validity will be high. External validity high मतलब generalizability भी high होगा. Okay, so please remember internal validity and external validity. All right. Now comes random allocation and assignment. To understand this, let us go to this slide first. Random allocation एक चीज होता है और random sampling एक चीज होता है. These are two very different things. Okay, बच्चे बहुत बार confuse हो जाते हैं इन दोनों के बीच में. इसका basically मतलब क्या होता है that suppose you have a population. In population, let's say you have 1,000 people. ठीक है. अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर हम कॉफी और स्लीप वाला सिचुएशन ले तो हमें देखना है कि कॉफी और स्लीप कॉलेज गोइंग स्टूडेंट्स को कैसे इम्पैक्ट करता है. कॉलेज गोइंग स्टूडेंट्स कैन बी a huge amount of students and it is not possible for us to study all of these students together. Okay, let's narrow down the research थोड़ा और हम देखना चाह रहे हैं कि let's say कॉफी और स्लीप कॉलेज गोइंग स्टूडेंट्स जो लोग बैंगलोर के फर्स्ट ईयर में है उनमें कितना इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है. ओके, सो व्हाट क्या हो रहा है, हम अपना पॉपुलेशन थोड़ा रिड्यूस कर रहे हैं. ओके, लेट्स से पॉपुलेशन में हमारे पास 1,000 स्टूडेंट्स है, 1,000 पीपल है. दिस इज स्टिल अ ह्यूज पॉपुलेशन एंड इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर अस टू study the entire population. So what we do is from this population we take a sample होता है वो जिसमें we are conducting the study. So what we are doing is 1,000 people में से we are selecting let's say 250 people. 1,000 में से we are selecting 250 people in a manner कि every person in this population has an equal chance of getting selected. Okay, has an equal chance of getting selected. मतलब there is no one person who is getting a preference over the other person. All right, अगर let's say मैं, रिया, मुस्कान, मीत हम सब उस population का part है तो हम सबकी probability of getting selected will be the same. There is no particular preference which is given to anyone. So equal chance of getting selected. This is what you call random sampling. जब आप अपने पॉपुलेशन से रैंडमली अपने सैंपल को चूज करते हो। रैंडम सैम्पलिंग के बहुत सारे तरीके होते हैं। देयर इज it comes under the broader head of probability sampling. Okay, then comes your, अब हमने सैंपल चूज कर लिया और लेट्स से 250 पीपल है अब हमारे सैंपल पे। 250 पीपल में हम अपना स्टडी कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं। नाउ as we have understood, we need to divide people into different groups. Now random assignment means that you are dividing people into different groups randomly without any preference. मतलब आपने आंख बंद करके या तो चिट सिस्टम से या तो रैंडमली एलोकेट करके आपने 125 पीपल को कंट्रोल ग्रुप में डाल दिया, 125 को ट्रीटमेंट में डाल दिया। ऐसा नहीं है कि अच्छा हाँ इसको कंट्रोल में डाल देते कि नहीं नहीं यार इसको तो हम ट्रीटमेंट में डाल देते, कि नहीं वो लड़की वैसे वो लग रही है वैसी लग रही है उसको हम ट्रीटमेंट में डाल देते हैं। ऐसा सॉर्ट ऑफ कुछ नहीं होता है। And there is no convenience also. It is convenient for this person to get admitted into this particular ward, तो हम इसे treatment group में डाल देते हैं। There is absolutely no preference, no choices that is done. Random assignment means कि आप आंख बंद करके randomly 250 people को दो different groups में allocate कर रहे हो। This is very important. Random sampling and random allocation. ये clear है ना सबको? One more thing about true experiment is, okay, कि random allocation is something which is mandatory. अगर random sampling नहीं भी होगा ना तो भी चलेगा, लेकिन random allocation होना बहुत ज़्यादा mandatory है true experimental design में. This becomes a key feature. Okay? This becomes a key feature. All right. Coming back to our this. ये समझ में आ गया random allocation and measurement is something that we were discussing. Measurement से क्या होता है, हम quantify कर सकते हैं changes को, we maintain a record, we observe what is happening whenever we are trying to change the IV, how is it impacting the DV, उसे हम देखते हैं, record करते हैं so that we can understand कि हमारा जो research hypothesis है वो हम accept कर पाएंगे कि नहीं कर पाएंगे. All right. Now coming to the variables part of it. Variables. There are primarily 4 types of variables जो हम experimental design में पढ़ते हैं. इन 4 के अलावा भी बहुत सारे different types of variables होते हैं, which we will eventually, go ahead and study in a lot of detail when we are doing the actual course. Yes. Right now we will just be focusing on these 4 variables. First is our independent variable. Independent variable basically helps us understand what is being changed. वो ऐसा कौन सा वेरिएबल है जिसे हम मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हैं, कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं, चेंज कर रहे हैं. ओके. represents the presumed cause. जैसे कॉफी और स्लीप वाले एग्जांपल में हमने प्रिज्यूम कर लिया था कि अच्छा कॉफी है वो कॉज है स्लीप क्वालिटी कम होने का, ये हमने प्रिज्यूम किया था. All right. So the IV is going to represent the presumed cause. The IV can have different levels of conditions. Different levels or conditions क्या हो सकता है, जैसे कि एक ग्रुप को लेट्स से हमने नो कॉफी दिया था उधर, है ना, एक ग्रुप को हमने लेट्स से कॉफी दिया लेकिन 4 कप्स दिया, एक ग्रुप को हमने कॉफी दिया लेकिन 10 कप्स दिया, और एक ग्रुप को हमने डीकैफिनेटेड कॉफी दिया. So even though our IV is one only, एक ही IV है which is coffee, but that IV also has different levels, has different conditions. Okay, and it is very important कि हम अपने IV को data collection के पहले ही decide कर लें. Data collection के पहले अगर हम IV decide करेंगे तो data collection का process भी बहुत ज़्यादा smooth हो जाता है. Okay, few examples for you. Types of therapy. CBT हुआ, RIBT हुआ, साइकोडायनामिक हुआ. दिस बेसिकली सीबीटी आरआईबीटी को हम थोड़ा रेगुलेट कर सकते हैं, इस आईवी को मैनिपुलेट कर सकते हैं. कॉफी इनटेक लाइक वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस. स्लीप डेप्रिवेशन फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर कोई स्टडी है जिसमें हम देखना चाह रहे हैं कि स्लीप डेप्रिवेशन और कंसंट्रेशन के बीच का क्या रिलेशन है, क्या कॉजल रिलेशनशिप है, तो हम स्लीप डेप्रिवेशन कर सकते हैं. जैसे एक ग्रुप को सिर्फ 4 घंटे सोने दिया, दूसरे ग्रुप को 8 आवर्स सोने दिया, और फिर हम उनका कंसंट्रेशन मेजर कर रहे हैं. All right. Then The second type of variable that is important for us over here is the dependent variable, which is also known as DV. It basically helps us understand what is being measured. Yes, अगर हम IV change कर रहे हैं तो हम IV क्यों change कर रहे हैं, क्या measure करने के लिए हम IV change कर रहे हैं. That is basically a dependent variable. This will presume the effect or the outcome. IV हमारा cause presume करता है, ये हमारा effect presume करता है कि इस variable पे effect देखा जाएगा. All right. It is expected to change as a function of the IV. That is as in when we change the IV, it is expected कि हमारा DV भी change होगा. And measurement, that is the DV, is what gives us evidence to evaluate the hypothesis. हमारे DV के measurement के हिसाब से हम decide करते हैं हमारा hypothesis को reject करना है, accept करना है, correct है, नहीं है. Okay. For example, anxiety score, memory performance, attentional level, reaction time. All of these are things which is subject to change at some point or the other. Hence, can be potential DVs based on a research objective. Then comes extraneous variable. Extraneous variable क्या होता है? It will potentially influence the DV. Okay, it will potentially influence the DV. This is any sort of unwanted variation जो हमारे study में हो रहा है, जो हमारे research का accuracy को reduce कर सकता है. Any unwanted variation which is happening in the study, which can reduce the accuracy of the conclusion that we get, the result of the study, that is what is our extraneous variable. The researcher is somewhere aware of these extraneous variables. These are basically potential influences, and we take a measure, we attempt to control these variables. हम try करते हैं कि हम जब अपना experimental design कर रहे हैं, हम इन variables को control करके रखें. For example, the noise level. We are making sure कि अच्छा अगर हमारे पास दो different groups हैं, तो दो different groups का जो environment है, over there the noise levels are the same. The noise level should not be impacting the study. The fatigue, both the participants, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि one group is more tired than the other. Both the participants, both the groups के participants should have equal level of fatigue. Both the groups should have equal level of motivation. अगर medication use हम देख रहे हैं, बहुत बार होता है कि let's say some particular medication it makes you more drowsy. Some particular medication, it will make you more alert. So we are ensuring that all of the participants that is there, unka medication use be same hai. There can be a lot of different other factors. Let's say, आपका temperature हुआ, आपका, sleep duration हुआ. All of these can also act as extraneous variables. So these are basically any extra variables, any unwanted things that is impacting our study, impacting our DV primarily. Second comes the confounding variable. Confounding variable क्या होता है? Confounding variable हमारे IV और DV दोनों को impact करता है. Okay? It has the potential to impact both our IV and our DV. And इसमें क्या होता है? You are providing an alternative explanation. ऊपर हमने जो भी alternative explanation देखा कि अच्छा heat और aggression के बीच में frustration भी एक हो सकता है. That can also work as a confounding variable. अगर confounding variable बहुत ज़्यादा है, उसके कारण क्या होगा? We cannot establish a direct causal relationship between our IV and our DV. So, कौन सा validity reduce होगा फिर? We had internal and external. हमारा internal validity reduce होगा. क्यों? क्योंकि confounding variables बीच में आ रहे हैं and that is helping us. And उसके कारण हम नहीं समझा पा रहे क्योंकि it is our IV which is directly impacting the DV. All right. And hence it makes it difficult to truly observe. Now, for example, हमारा IV और DV दोनों कैसे impact हो सकता है? Let's say there are participants जो एक नई type की therapy they are testing, and they are testing the therapy in a quiet room, and which is our extraneous variable. Okay. So there are basically two groups जिसमें हम नई therapy अपना decide कर रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं. One is in a quiet room and one is in a noisy room. Okay, but the room environment can become a confounding variable. Room environment मतलब room का color क्या है, वहाँ पे objects कैसे place किए हुए हैं, couch कितना comfortable है. Okay, so even though we are controlling one particular variable, there can be other variables which is impacting our IV and DV and उन दोनों के बीच का relationship. Hence, we cannot confidently say that the IV is what is causing DV. Okay, an easy way to remember this, something that works for me, is extraneous variable means extra. अगर कुछ extra है तो हम उसे control कर सकते हैं. If there is something extra, we can potentially control it because we have an idea about it. Okay. But confounding variable क्या होता है? The word confounding basically means confusing. So anything which confuses our entire study. It confounding variable is something जो हमें भी समझ नहीं आता है क्या नहीं है. Hence it becomes difficult to control it. So anything which is confounding, anything which is confusing. Why is it confusing? क्योंकि वो IV और DV दोनों को कर रहा है ना impact. अगर एक ही चीज दो अलग अलग तरीके से impact कर रहा है, of course it will create confusion and it will threaten the interpretation of the study. Okay. So I'm hoping that you all can also remember it by this. Extraneous is basically something which can be controlled because it's something extra. तो हम उसे eliminate कर सकते हैं easily. Extra चीजों को हम हटा सकते हैं. But when it comes to confounding variable, these are variables which is confusing, which confuses the researcher. Why? Because it's impacting both the IV and the DV. Is this clear for everyone? All of the variables, random allocation, random assignment, अभी तक हमने जो भी पढ़ा है. Is this clear? Yes? Okay, great. So, can you provide an example for confounding? Okay, चलो आओ हम इसमें देखते हैं. हमारे पहले वाले में confounding variable क्या हो सकता है? Yes. Can you tell me what can be the confounding variable here? Correct, Trisha. Yes, we can predict what the confounding variables are, but we are not sure how they are impacting, if they are impacting, because we are not sure how to control them also. Okay, hence why it is a confounding variable. Yes, the more than the coffee type, what you can actually say that over here the confounding variable can be ki, let's say there are different brands of coffee and different brands of coffee have different levels of caffeine in it. Okay, so depending on what coffee is given to the three participants, that can also change. जो हम predict, हम अगर सोचेंगे तो हम predict कर पाएंगे कि अच्छा हाँ ठीक है, coffee brands different caffeine levels and that can have an impact. But we are not being able to directly understand or see it in the study also. Okay, for example, over here during the course of the study, it was observed that some participants consumed energy drinks late at night outside experimental procedure. Additionally, few participants reported disturbances in sleep due to loud hostile noise during the night. Okay, we are understanding that okay, these are two possible things जो हम control कर सकते हैं. हम noise को may be control कर सकते हैं. ओके अगर वो हमारे फैसिलिटीज में रह रहे हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स या जहाँ पे हम कर रहे हैं एडमिनिस्टर वहाँ पे वी कैन कंट्रोल द नॉइज या बट व्हाट दे आर डूइंग बियॉन्ड द एक्सपेरिमेंटल प्रोसीजर how are other things which is impacting that is not something that we might understand. Okay, yes, so you can say that the noise, the hostile noise that can still be controlled तो extraneous हो सकता है but energy drink may or may not be confounding depending on the protocol of the experiment. अगर protocol of the experiment is such कि अच्छा participants हमारे साथ ही रह रहे so we can monitor कि वो energy drink नहीं पी रहे हैं, then it will become extraneous. But if that is not something that we are able to control and it will impact, that will be confounding. A lot of times जो confounding variables generally हम clinical setup में देखते हैं, psychological researches में देखते हैं, that is more of your temperament. टेम्परामेंट में क्या होता है, their temperament, your underlying personality. There might be few people जो थोड़ा ज्यादा एंजाइटी स्पेक्ट्रम में है, या who are like a little more towards the anxiety. तो उसमें क्या होगा, caffeine plays a lot of role in anxiety. So even though you are controlling everything else possible and you are giving two people the same amount of coffee, the same amount of coffee or the same brand of coffee, उसके बाद भी क्या होगा, the reaction of coffee might be different for different people because of their underlying temperament, because of their underlying personality. एक ज्यादा anxious होगा इसलिए sleep quality खत्म होगा, दूसरा उतना ज्यादा anxious नहीं होगा इसलिए सिर्फ कैफीन से related sleep quality कम होगा. Okay, so this is a very common confounding variable जो हम generally देखते हैं. This is something which impacts a lot of real life experiments that we see, but these are not some things that we can fully control जो हम पूरा देख पाते. इसलिए what is more important is that as a researcher I am cognizant of what these impacts can be, what the possible confounding variables can be, and I report that effectively in my research study. Okay, that you report कि अच्छा possibly these can be the factors, I am reporting this. That is a more cognizant way of approaching the things. In certain experiments आप confounding variable easily identify कर पाओगे, certain variables में आप नहीं कर पाओगे confounding variables identify, and the number of confounding variables can be a lot, काफी कुछ हो सकता है. Yes, previous exposure to coffee consumption भी हो सकता है, because a lot of times people build the tolerance also for coffee. Tolerance increase हो गई है आपकी तो आपका sleep quality इतना नहीं impact करेगा. नया नया कॉफी पी रहे हो तो sleep quality ज्यादा impact करेगा. So you need to make sure that when you yourself are designing an experimental research, to think 360 degree and look at every possible things that you can control in your study to make sure कि एक internal validity आपके study की extremely high हो. Okay, all right, so over here just an overview for you. हमारा IV है, IV को हम दो conditions में करते हैं, condition A, condition B. दोनों का influence हम देखते हैं DV में, DV को हम measure करते हैं, और DV को जब हम measure करते हैं तब हम make sure करते हैं कि जो भी extraneous variable है उसको हम control करें, और confounding variable का impact we are regularly checking and we are seeing if it can be controlled or not in any manner. Okay. Now हम तब से बात कर रहे हैं कि groups होते हैं. हमने अपने population से randomly sample choose कर लिया, उस sample से हमने randomly allocate कर दिया, but what are we allocating them into? What we are doing is, after we have chosen the sample, we are randomly allocating them into primarily three different types of groups. We have experimental group, control group, and placebo group. For example, आपके पास अगर 100 population है, उसमें से आपने 30 को choose किया, which becomes your sample. इस 30 को आपने 10 करके experimental group में, control group में और placebo group में divide कर दिया. Alright. हर एक group में क्या होता है? Let's try and understand. Let's first start with experimental group. As the name suggests, experimental मतलब this is the group जहाँ पे experiment हो रहा है, जहाँ पे all of the features of your experiment is being administered. Main feature क्या है हमारा? Manipulation of the IV. Manipulation or controlling the IV. तो experimental group is the group जिसमें हम अपने IV को regulate कर रहे हैं, control कर रहे हैं, manipulate कर रहे हैं, और फिर हमारा जो DV है उसका measurement read कर रहे हैं. All right. The purpose is to test the effect of IV on DV. Now, let's say we have taken 30 people. Okay. Let's say we have taken 30 people and हमने इन पे HAM-D किया है. HAM-D is basically a depression severity scale. एक rating scale है जिससे हमें depression की severity समझ में आती है. And let's say we have taken all the 30 people जिनका same level of depression है. All right. ये करके हमने सेम लेवल पे लिया है. लेट्स से सबका 21 to 25 के बीच में स्कोर आया है. तो एवरीवन हैज सीवियर लेवल ऑफ डिप्रेशन. एंड 21 to 25 है तो क्या है? होमोजेनिटी मेंटेन्ड है अक्रॉस द ग्रुप्स. होमोजेनिटी मेंटेन्ड है. अगर होमोजेनिटी मेंटेन्ड है तो क्या होगा? पार्टिसिपेंट वेरिएशन कम होगा. पार्टिसिपेंट वेरिएशन जो है वो कम होगा. पार्टिसिपेंट वेरिएशन कम होगा तो क्या होगा? कंपाउंडिंग वेरिएबल्स बहुत ज्यादा नहीं हो पाएंगे. ऑलराइट. तो हमने सब कोई को लिया. उसमें एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप में क्या किया हमने? 10 लोग जो हमारे एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप में है जिसको सीवियर डिप्रेशन है, उनको हमने एक एक्चुअल रियल एंटी डिप्रेसेंट मेडिकेशन दिया. एक्चुअल रियल एंटी डिप्रेसेंट मेडिकेशन. दिस इज आवर एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप. जो सेकंड ग्रुप है, जो हमारा कंट्रोल ग्रुप है, कंट्रोल ग्रुप में क्या किया है हमने उनको कोई मेडिकेशन नहीं दिया है. कंट्रोल ग्रुप क्या होता है? इट हेल्प्स अस अंडरस्टैंड द बेसलाइन. हमारे ग्रुप का क्या है? हमारे ग्रुप का बेसलाइन क्या है? कंट्रोल ग्रुप हमें स्टैंडर्ड कंपैरिजन कंडीशन देता है कि अगर कोई इंटरवेंशन ना हो, मैनिपुलेशन आईवी को मैनिपुलेट नहीं करेंगे तो क्या आउटकम होगा, तो हमारा डीवी क्या होगा. That is what the control group does. So we are not giving them any medication at all, no intervention at all, so that it can serve as the reference point for us when we are comparing all of the scores from all the 3 groups. All right. So the purpose is to provide a baseline for comparison and help determine whether observed changes are due to IV or not. अगर मान लो कंट्रोल ग्रुप में, लेट्स से कंट्रोल ग्रुप में आपने कोई मेडिकेशन नहीं दिया, फिर भी आप देख रहे हो कि डिप्रेशन की सिवेरिटी कम हो गई है, क्या? Then can you say that antidepressants is the only thing which is reducing depression? Or will that indicate that okay, there might be other things apart from antidepressant which is reducing depression? Yeah. So control group helps us with that understanding, helps us to get a comparison, a baseline, a standard reference point. All right. Then lastly we have the placebo group. Placebo group basically क्या होता है? इसमें हम एक inactive treatment देते हैं which will resemble the actual treatment, but उस treatment का जो active component है ना, वो हम नहीं देंगे. For example, instead of giving a real antidepressant, हम वैसा ही दिखने वाला, सेम एंटीडिप्रेसेंट जैसा दिखने वाला हम एक शुगर पिल देंगे. इट्स लुकिंग आइडेंटिकल, बट जो एक्टिव कंपोनेंट है उस एंटीडिप्रेसेंट का, which might be SSRI, SNRIs और whatever, हम वो चीज नहीं देंगे उनको, जिससे हम समझ पाए कि जो भी इफेक्ट आ रहा है, okay, whatever the DV scores is it actually due to antidepressants or is it more of a effect that people are feeling अच्छा मैं दवाई खा रही हूँ तो मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगी. A lot of times what happens is जो psychological effect होता है ना चीजों का, psychological effect जो होता है intervention का, that also becomes extremely helpful. So placebo group helps us understand that psychological effect and helps us control that also. Yeah. So talking about placebo effect, क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? Controls the psychological expectation effects जो होता है. Now a lot of times लोग improve कर जाएंगे ये सोच के कि अच्छा ठीक है मैंने दवाई लिया है तो कुछ तो अच्छा होगा ही, ठीक है मैं ठीक हो जाऊंगी या मुझे better feel हो रहा है. This is known as the placebo effect. Why? Because even without the actual treatment, there is still an improvement which is seen. That is called placebo effect. It will help researchers determine कि जो भी observed improvement है वो हमारे actual treatment के कारण है कि सिर्फ participant के expectations और belief के कारण है. Alright. A lot of different types of placebo effect can be. आपका पहला खुद का expectation, आप क्या expect करते हो. दूसरा can be learning. आप देख रहे हो कि अच्छा एक दवाई है जो 3-4 लोगों ने लिया और उनके लिए काम कर दिया, तो आप भी जब वो दवाई ले तो आपको भी लगता है कि हाँ हाँ मेरे लिए भी काम करेगा ही. Okay. कंडीशनिंग हो जाता है काफी लोगों का, अ लॉट ऑफ वर्बल क्यूज, जहाँ पे आप कंटिन्यूसली कोई आपको बोल रहा है कि अरे तुम तो बहुत अच्छी लग रही हो, तुम्हारा तो तुम बेटर लग रही हो, देखो तुम तो सो भी पा रही हो, ऑल ऑफ दैट, इफ पीपल कीप सेइंग that even though if you are not feeling better, that will still act as a placebo, that okay, if people are saying it, then perhaps I am feeling better, then perhaps my depression might be reducing. Okay, this is all something along the lines of placebo effect. Alright, तो हम क्या करेंगे, अपना सैंपल को इन तीनों ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड करेंगे, तीनों ग्रुप से हम डीवी मेजर करेंगे। इन इसके बाद जब ये तीन एडमिनिस्टर हो गया, फिर हम वापस से लेट्स से हैमडी एडमिनिस्टर करेंगे, जिससे हमें डिप्रेशन की सिवेरिटी पता चलेगी। फिर हम हैमडी स्कोर्स को तीनों ग्रुप्स के अक्रॉस कंपेयर करेंगे। कंपेयर करने के बाद वी विल फाइंड आवर कंक्लूजन, वी विल रीच टू understanding whether our hypothesis is correct or not. Okay, so just to get a brief understanding, flow में कैसे होता है, क्या होता है, सबसे पहले हम hypothesis बनाते हैं। Hypothesis is what? Antidepressants will reduce depression, let's say. Okay, antidepressants will reduce depression, that is our hypothesis. हम अपने आईवी को मैनिपुलेट करते हैं। आईवी को कैसे मैनिपुलेट करेंगे, तीन ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड करके, एक को एंटी डिप्रेसेंट देंगे, एक को नहीं देंगे और एक को प्लेसिबो देंगे। एक्सट्रानियस वेरिएबल्स को कंट्रोल करेंगे। एक्सट्रानियस वेरिएबल्स कैन बी एज, योर जेंडर, योर हैमडी स्कोर्स, ऑल ऑफ दैट। ओ सॉरी, मैनिपुलेट आईवी हम डिसाइड करेंगे क्या है, फिर हम रैंडमली एलोकेट करेंगे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को इन द थ्री ग्रुप्स, जहां पे हम अपने आईवी को एक एक करके मैनिपुलेट करेंगे, प्लेसिबो देंगे, फिर हम अपने डीवी को मेजर करेंगे। डीवी को मेजर करने के बाद वी विल एनालाइज द रिजल्ट दैट इज देयर। ऑलराइट, so you obtain subjects via random sampling, then you randomly assign them into 2 or 3 groups, then you do a follow-up study, and you compare the results. Easy till here? अब ये वाला चार्ट किसी ने देखा है, ये चार्ट पहले किसी को पता है क्या है, नहीं है, what are these words? Okay, so इस चार्ट में basically there are a lot of different types of experimental research design that exists. Okay, when we will be doing the course, उस course में we will be going into a lot of depth for each and every different types of experimental design. हर एक की क्या properties है, why do we prefer one over the other, when to use what, all of that we will study and understand. But this is something that we'll be doing when we are actually doing the course. For today's class, it won't be possible to cover so many things. So this is just for you to know that, okay, these different types exist and to keep a mental note कि हाँ ये पढ़ना होगा आप लोग को आगे जाके. Alright? But अगर हम basic distinction करें experimental design का, तो basic distinction में there are primarily two types. Okay, these two types of experimental design तक limited नहीं है, but these two types are something जो आप बाकी tests में भी थोड़ा देखते हो. The two types are firstly your between group design and secondly your within group design. Between group, as the name suggests, between group में क्या होगा, अलग अलग groups होंगे और आप उन groups के between का DV को measure करते हो. That is your between group design in the very simple manner. And last is within group. Within group is basically you have one group and उसी group के within आप काफी सारे different manipulations करते हो and you understand your DV. तो over इधर क्या हुआ, as the diagram is suggesting, यहाँ पे जैसे क्या है, यहाँ पे there are 6 participants, जिसमें से 2 participants are allotted in 3 different groups. तीनों को अलग अलग ट्रीटमेंट मिल रहा है, एक को ट्रीटमेंट 1, दूसरे को ट्रीटमेंट 2, तीसरे को ट्रीटमेंट 3. देन वी आर taking the overall DV and analyzing that. Whereas within group में क्या होता है, there are 6 participants. In 6 participants में सबसे पहले in the same participants, okay? In the same set of participants, what we are doing? First we will do treatment 1, then we will do treatment 2, then we will do treatment 3. उसके बाद हम results को analyze करेंगे. So in between groups, there are different participants which undergo the treatments, and in within group there are the same participants which undergo the treatment. All right. So group structure कैसा होता है between group का? Between group में क्या होता है? There are different groups of participants and they are exposed to different conditions of your IV. All right. And within group में क्या होता है? There are same participants which are exposed to all conditions of your IV. All right. Now to understand it with a small example, I think example से थोड़ा और better हो जाएगा. हमने जो अभी एंटी डिप्रेसेंट्स वाला लिया, जिसमें हमारे 30 पार्टिसिपेंट्स थे, 30 को हमने 10 10 10 में किया. उसमें क्या हुआ, एक को हमने, एक एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप था हमारा, एक प्लेसिबो ग्रुप था और एक था कंट्रोल ग्रुप. तो उसमें क्या हुआ, 3 ट्रीटमेंट थे जिसमें एंटी डिप्रेसेंट्स मिला, जिसमें शुगर पिल मिला और जिसमें नो इंटरवेंशन मिला. Can you quickly tell me which is this? Is this between or within group? What will be this? Is this between group or within group? Very good. Very good. This is the between group design. Now let's say we have 30 participants, okay? And our objective is to understand the impact of, the objective is to understand the impact of noise on concentration levels. Okay, तो हमने क्या किया, हमने सबसे पहले ट्रीटमेंट 1 किया जिसमें हमने नो नॉइज रखा और उनके कंसंट्रेशन को मेजर किया. All right, this is basically our IV, this is our DV. कंसंट्रेशन को मेजर किया. फिर सेम 30 पार्टिसिपेंट्स में हमने क्या किया, हमने उन्हें लो लेवल ऑफ नॉइज दिया और हमने उनका कंसंट्रेशन मेजर किया. और फिर सेम नंबर ऑफ पार्टिसिपेंट्स में हमने हाई लेवल ऑफ नॉइज दिया और हमने उनका कंसंट्रेशन मेजर किया. तो इसमें क्या होगा, दिस बिकम्स अ विदिन ग्रुप. व्हाई? बिकॉज इन द सेम पार्टिसिपेंट्स you are taking them through different levels of the IV. All right. So coming back to our table, इसमें क्या होता है between group में, जो भी हमारा dependent variable का differences है ना, that is compared across the different groups, whereas in within group you are comparing the difference within the same participants. हाँ, correct. Repeated measures. Yes, repeated measures is this. And correct, same participants but different conditions is within. All right. Then we have control of individual difference. अब अगर between group design है, उसमें से हर एक groups में अलग अलग लोग हैं ना, तो क्या होगा, individual differences का chances बहुत ज़्यादा increase हो जाता है. It won't be automatically controlled. So we need to make sure. Hence why it is important that random assignment is happening, so that there's no preference, nothing happening. Everyone has an equal chance of being in each group so that the individual differences can be minimized. But the good thing about within group design, the advantage of within group design is what? The individual differences are inherently controlled because same participants is only undergoing different treatment conditions. Yeah. So the इंडिविजुअल डिफरेंसेस नहीं होता है, स्टेबल रहता है, हेंस हमारी वैलिडिटी इंक्रीज होने की चांसेस हाई रहती है. ऑल राइट. एंड लास्टली, वन कॉमन कंसर्न इन बिटवीन ग्रुप डिजाइन इज, क्योंकि देयर आर multiple different groups, so you need more number of participants also, so you need large sample size for the same, and it can be affected by group non-equivalence. ग्रुप नॉन इक्विवेलेंस बेसिकली क्या होता है कि हमारे जो डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स है दे माइट पॉसिबली डिफर ऑन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स। जैसे जैसे एक्सपेरिमेंटल जैसे जैसे एक्सपेरिमेंट बिगिन होता है वैसे वैसा ऐसा हो सकता है कि सारे ग्रुप्स में कुछ कुछ डिफरेंस है ऑफ इम्पोर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स बिकॉज ऑफ विच आर ग्रुप इज नॉट इक्विवेलेंट। ओके, ग्रुप में नॉन इक्विवेलेंस होता है which can ultimately impact the accuracy of a result. Okay, so this is one common concern. And now when we are talking about within group design, उसमें क्या होता है, they might be susceptible to order effects. अगर हम सेम चीज में बहुत सिंपल चीज में मैं समझाऊं ऑर्डर इफेक्ट्स क्या होता है, तो फॉर एग्जांपल ये वाले कंडीशन में 30 स्टूडेंट्स है जो 3 बार अलग अलग ट्रीटमेंट कंडीशंस में जा रहे हैं, उसमें क्या होगा, it might so happen that the participants' performance is being changed, is being impacted because of the order in which experimental conditions are experienced. अगर मान लो हम इस चीज को उल्टा कर दे कि सबसे पहले हमने हाई लेवल दिया, फिर हमने लो लेवल दिया, फिर हमने नो लेवल दिया, then there is a possibility that our results might change a bit. Why? Because starting में ही अगर लोगों का attention कम हो गया, then possibility है कि next वाले में even though they are paying attention, they want to pay attention, उनकी attention, उनका concentration उतना ज्यादा high नहीं होगा because starting में low हो गया, so that is what is continuing over here. So order effect is basically, when we talk about order effect, that is basically what, that there is a change in participants' performance because of the order in which experimental conditions are experienced. तो इसमें क्या होता है, this happens instead of your DV, even though आपका DV बोल रही हूँ, sorry, instead of your IV, even though आपका IV same है, even though आपका IV across different conditions है, but still there can be a change, there can be some order effects that is happening. अब ये जो order effect होते हैं वो भी different types के हो सकते हैं. Generally हम 3 type पढ़ते हैं. One is the practice effect, then we have the fatigue effect, and we have the carry over effect. Practice effect, as the name suggests, अगर आप same test, same question answers बार बार करते रहोगे, तो you will become more familiar with those questions. You will be able to answer them better. Okay, so practice effect क्या होता है, when your performance is improving. क्यों? Because there is repeated exposure, there's a lot of familiarity, there is a lot of learning which has happened because of the previous trials. Okay, then there is something known as the fatigue effect. fatigue effect में क्या होता है, आपने एक बार एक टेस्ट किया, उसके बाद आप थक गए हो, आप बोर हो गए हो, मोटिवेशन आपका कम हो गया क्योंकि बार बार आप पे टेस्ट किया जा रहा है. That is known as your fatigue effect, which can impact the results. And lastly, you have carry over effect. Carry over effect क्या होता है, जिसमें जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया ना कि आपने हाई पहले किया, उसके कारण आपका मन नहीं था, आपको पहले में कंसंट्रेशन हो गया, तो यू नो योर मोटिवेशन हैज रिड्यूस्ड, यू आर लाइक ओके आई वोंट बी एबल टू डू दिस, बिकॉज ऑफ व्हिच इट इज इम्पैक्टिंग योर परफॉर्मेंस ऑन लो एंड नो लेवल ऑफ नॉइज. तो उसमें क्या होता है, कैरी ओवर इफेक्ट इज बेसिकली योर एक्सपीरियंस of one condition is being carried over and it is influencing the performance in your other conditions. उससे हम कैरी ओवर इफेक्ट बोलते हैं. तो यहाँ पे these are the few things जो order effects बहुत ज्यादा हाई होने का चांसेस होता है. So we need to ensure that we are also managing it in some form or the other. Is this clear? Is this okay for everyone? Yes? All right. So up our last slide of the day. It is the basic advantage and disadvantage of our experimental research. Advantage क्या है कि हम cause and effect relationship कर पाते हैं, हम अपने variables को control कर पाते हैं, we can reduce the confounding factors. Because confounding factors, extraneous variables कम है, there is high internal validity that is there. As we studied, we can replicate our experimental design. Experimental design is very objective, very accurate, and it is also considered the gold standard method of our hypothesis testing. Few disadvantages क्योंकि experimental design है तो lab settings और artificial environment में बहुत ज़्यादा होता है जो real life conflict, real world complexities को maybe it won't be able to um, reflect adequately. So that is one disadvantage. Then we have ethical constraints. A lot of times when we do experiments, there are a lot of ethical constraints which we need to keep in mind. So please ensure that when you are also designing your own research, that is something that you're keeping in mind. Then there is low external validity. External validity जो हमने पढ़ा था, that is basically your generalizability. क्योंकि हम इसको lab setting में करते हैं, we are controlling a lot of different things which is not possible to be controlled in a real world place. Hence why external validity low hoti hai, and because it is done in a very elaborate manner in specific situations, it can become very expensive and time consuming. All right, so this is our advantages and disadvantages. We have MCQs. For us, there are 10 MCQs which we will try to solve together. Before we move on to the MCQs, quickly, if anyone has any doubts, you can ask me. If there's any clarification required, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll move on to the MCQ practice.
You can unmute yourself also if in case you have any doubts. You can just ask before we move to the MCQ practice.
Someone is saying, can placebo help in somatoform disorder, like having pain without a cause? Yes, a lot of times ऐसा होता है कि somatoform disorder help करता है. Somatoform disorder का बहुत ज़्यादा classic symptom है, classic feature है कि they will continuously, go to the doctors, ask for prescriptions, ask for all of that. So in case some sort of placebo, that can be helped. Okay. Someone is asking about doctor shopping. Correct. Someone is asking about ecological validity. Ecological validity is basically कि हमारे जो research की findings है, okay, उनका real world relevance क्या है, वो real world में apply हो सकते हैं, नहीं हो सकते हैं, how much of that can be generalized. Okay, that is our ecological validity. Yes, you can say that. So ecological validity is a very specific type of external validity. You can consider same ही है. External validity थोड़ा ज़्यादा umbrella term हो जाता है. Whereas ecological validity environmental factors, environmental applicability में ज़्यादा focus करता है. Okay, real world applications में. एक्सटर्नल वैलिडिटी में हम बोल सकते हैं अच्छा ठीक है इन 30 स्टूडेंट्स के साथ हो रहा है तो पॉसिबली सारे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ ऐसा हो रहा होगा, ठीक है. बट इकोलॉजिकल वैलिडिटी करता है कि अच्छा ठीक है रियल लाइफ में अगर ये 100 स्टूडेंट्स के साथ हो रहा है तो हम जो एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हैं is the same thing being mirrored over there or there are other factors also playing a role. Okay, so external validity is more of an umbrella term. Ecological उसका एक सब पार्ट आता है.
Hello, ma'am. I have a doubt.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, although class was very nice, but I would just like to ask, as I'm preparing for the entrance. So from
Yeah.
the entrance point of view, will this amount of information be satisfied or they are required to practice more?
Actually, I'm not being able to hear you properly. आपका ना बहुत muffled आ रहा है आवाज. Can you change your sound settings a bit, or you can type the message and also send me? That's also fine.
It is clear now?
हाँ, this is slightly better. Tell me.
मैम मैं पूछ रही थी जैसे मैं न्यू RCET कोर्स के एंट्रेंस एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रही हूँ, तो ये जो
Yes.
आपने अभी पढ़ाया था, तो इज दिस इनफ फॉर मी? मतलब ये मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट चीज वाले आप करवा रहे हो ना? These are the most
हाँ.
important topics.
So basically what we are also doing over here right now is that it is one of the most important topics, but it is also a brief overview for you to understand how the course is going to look like, what my teaching style is, how we will go about it. So I also kept mentioning that there are a lot of things जो experimental design में और भी बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, जो हम बहुत डिटेल में अपने कोर्स में कवर करेंगे. Okay, so this particular thing is not going to be enough, but we will make sure that the course that is gonna happen, that उसमें काफी ज़्यादा मतलब content पूरा वैसा रहेगा, which will ensure that all of it is going to be covered. Okay, and हम क्या plan कर रहे हैं कि when we are talking about statistics and research, we are going to take somewhere around 20 plus hours to make sure कि आपका पूरा का पूरा सिलेबस कंप्लीट हो, डिटेल में कंप्लीट हो, कुछ भी मिस ना हो. तो कोर्स उसी हिसाब से रन कर रहे हैं. वी हैव प्लान्ड द कोर्स इन अ मैनर व्हिच इज एक्सट्रीमली कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव. तो कोर्स इज गोइंग टू बी इनफ फॉर यू. Abhi, we only had approximately 1.5 hours in our hand. That's why we've only covered the main things about experiment. But in the actual course, it's going to be a plethora of things that we'll be covering in a lot of details. Yeah. Okay. Yes, exactly. This is a very basic. This is more like a stepping stone in the full thing of what research and stats holds. All right. So now let's move on to the MCQ practice. Okay. The first. Please start answering. You can type in the other chat. So what we have done in this, there are 10 MCQs. 10 MCQs में ना पहले के previous year questions है, जो कुछ निम्हान से लिए हुए हैं, RML से लिए हुए, इभास से लिए हुआ है, and so that you get an idea of how the actual questions are asked, क्या होता है नहीं होता है. So it's a mix of PYQs also. Correct, everyone. The first answer is D, which is obtaining rich and detailed descriptions of individual behavior. ये हम generally देखते हैं qualitative research में. This is something that we generally study in qualitative research methods. As discussed already, manipulating IV is very important. Controlling the threats, which is basically extraneous variables, बहुत important होता है, and reducing the influence of confounding variables. All right. Now let's move on to the next question. Which of the following represents a true experimental research design? There is ex post facto design, randomized plot design, cross-sectional design, and correlation design. Now I understand ये जो चीज है, there will be a lot of new terms over here. बहुत बार ऐसा होगा कि exam में you will find a lot of new terms. So what we will also do is a lot of elimination method. Okay. So हमने आज के बेसिस में जो भी डिस्कस किया है, उससे ये श्योर है कि एक्सपेरिमेंटल does not equal to correlation, क्योंकि correlation में there is only strength and direction of the relationship, but इसमें causal होता है. Given this information, we are sure कि correlation design तो नहीं होगा. All right. Secondly, we have cross-sectional design. Cross-sectional design क्या होता है? It is basically any particular research design जो हम different groups में करते हैं, but at one point in time. लेकिन क्रॉस सेक्शन में इट इज नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट कि हम वेरिएबल्स को मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हैं, कि हम कॉजल रिलेशनशिप एस्टैब्लिश करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. दैट इज नॉट समथिंग दैट वी यूजुअली ट्राई टू डू इन अ क्रॉस सेक्शनल डिजाइन. So hence why this is not a true experimental design again. Coming to ex post facto and randomized block design. Ex post facto में क्या होता है? Normal way, like an easy way to remember this is X. Your X is basically your past. Okay. So ex post facto is कि ऐसा कोई event जो already occur हो चुका है, on that particular event we are trying to do a research. Alright. For example, हम देखना चाह रहे हैं impact of COVID on attention. ठीक है. तो जब हम impact of COVID on attention पढ़ते हैं, तो it is not possible ना कि हम वापस से COVID को लाए और COVID को manipulate करें or something. It is something which is the past. जो X है हमारा, जो पहले हो चुका है. Okay. So because वो हम बार बार नहीं कर सकते हैं, there cannot be no manipulation, no control. Hence why it is not a true experimental design, क्योंकि उसका core feature है कि there needs to be manipulation of IP. Hence, the only option that is left for us is randomized block design. Randomized block design में क्या होता है? Very simple. जैसे हमने डिस्कस किया ना, 30 पार्टिसिपेंट्स को हम अलग अलग हम 10 ग्रुप्स में ले लेते हैं, रैंडम एलोकेशन करते हैं जिससे होमोजेनस डिजाइन हो. सिमिलरली हम क्या करते हैं, हमारे जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं ना, उनको हम पहले होमोजेनस ब्लॉक्स में डिजाइन कर देते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, हमारे पास अगर 30 पार्टिसिपेंट्स है, ठीक है, 30 पार्टिसिपेंट्स में से लेट्स से हम 2 ग्रुप बना लिए जिसमें 15 मेल है और जिसमें 15 फीमेल्स है. अब ये जो 15 मेल्स और फीमेल्स है, व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज इनको कंबाइन करके वी आर मेकिंग ग्रुप्स. वी आर मेकिंग 3 ग्रुप्स इन अ मैनर कि हर एक ग्रुप्स में 5 मेल 5 फीमेल हो, 5 मेल 5 फीमेल हो, 5 मेल 5 फीमेल हो. So what are we doing? First we are making a block. We are making a block which is homogeneous. उसके बाद ये block बनाने के बाद we are randomly assigning them into 3 different groups. That is basically a general idea of what randomized block design is. Hence, everyone who said B as the correct answer, very good. Let's move on to the third question. Now, a lot of times ऐसा होता है कि हम रैंडम असाइनमेंट करना चाहते हैं, जैसे हमने देखा रैंडमाइज्ड ब्लॉक डिजाइन में रैंडम असाइनमेंट करना चाहते हैं, बट a lot of times हम रैंडम असाइनमेंट नहीं कर पाते हैं because a lot of practical reasons that can be there. So it's going to be your homework to go home and find out कि in the cases where random assignment is not possible, what are the few other things that we can keep in mind, and also think about what are the few other ways जिससे हम order effect जो है उसको control कर सकते हैं. That is something which you can keep as your homework. All right. So now coming to the third question. Third question is basically, यहाँ पे if you notice there are 4 new concepts. There is participant bias, research bias, single blind and double blind. Participant bias very simple terms में वो होता है जिसमें participants are behaving differently. Participants behave differently because they have an idea of the study. So वो करते हैं differently behave क्योंकि उन्हें या तो पता है purpose of the study क्या है, या तो उन्हें पता है कि वो control group में, placebo group में, कि experimental group में, और they have certain expectations about the outcome. So hence that is called participation bias. Coming to researcher bias क्या होता है, जहाँ पे हमारा जो researcher है उसका expectation और beliefs के कारण there can be changes. Causes changes in changes in participants' performance. या तो participants performance हुआ, या तो observation हुआ, या तो data collection हुआ, जहाँ पे unknowingly जो हमारा researcher है, that is causing some sort of change in factors that can potentially influence our study. All right. फिर आता है single blind. Single blind में क्या होता है? Single blind में participants don't know which group they belong to. तो सिंगल फाइंड में क्या होता है? पार्टिसिपेंट्स को नहीं पता है अगर उन्हें कॉफी मिल रहा है, उन्हें डीकैफिनेटेड कॉफी मिल रहा है, they have no idea which group they belong to. So this will, what will happen over here? This will reduce the placebo effect, the participant expectancy effect that we just studied about. And lastly, we have double blind, जिसमें participant plus researcher both don't know which participant is in which group. तो ना researcher को पता है कि कौन experimental group में है, placebo में है, control में है, और ना ही participants को होता है. तो इससे क्या होता है? What will happen? This will reduce participant and researcher bias both. Participant and researcher bias दोनों कम होता है double blind procedure से. Now, given this information, these are all the things that we have been studying throughout the class today. So the correct answer is going to be C, experimental research, because these are all of the very key features that we see in experimental design. All right. Now, let's do fourth question. I'm hoping this में ज़्यादा समझाना ना पड़े. This is something that we have actively discussed today. Very good. It is between subjects designed by, because there are two psychotherapies, that is, there are two different groups. This is group 1, this is group 2, and we are trying to understand the effectiveness. We are analyzing the data over here. Hence why it is option A, between subjects design. Very good. Can we talk about this? What is the major advantage of within subjects design? Within subject की हम बात कर रहे हैं खुशी. What will be it? That? Yes, correct. It's going to be option C, which is controls participant variability. Because it's the same group जिसमें आप कर रहे हो ना, you will not require a large sample. And because it's the same group, it's going to be the same participants, so the participants' variation will be controlled. Very good. Let's quickly do this match the following. A clinical psychologist conducted a study to examine whether mindfulness training improves concentration among postgraduate psychology students. Participants were randomly assigned to either a mindfulness training group or a no intervention control group. The mindfulness group attended structured mindfulness sessions for 4 weeks, while the control group did not receive any intervention. At the end of the study, all participants completed a computerized concentration test to assess their attention and focus. During the experiment, it was observed that some students in the mindfulness group has also started practicing yoga regularly outside the study. Additionally, occasional classroom noise during test sessions may have affected the participants' concentration levels. Can you quickly see what is what? Okay. There are a lot of mixed responses. Okay, yes, the correct answer over here is going to be, the correct answer over here is going to be, it's going to be option B. इसमें क्या हो रहा है? इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल क्या है हमारा? माइंडफुलनेस ट्रेनिंग. Mindfulness training is the thing that we are trying to manipulate. Hence, IV becomes a mindfulness training. अगर हम IV करते हैं manipulate, so what we are trying to understand कि concentration कैसे change हो रहा है. Hence, concentration will become a DV. तो A4, B1, automatically this is the answer. To understand better, C क्या है हमारा? Extraneous variable. यहाँ पे extraneous variable क्या है? Classroom noise during testing sessions, because this is something that we can't get a hold on. We can try to control. बाहर की आवाजें and all. Lastly, we have confounding variable, that is yoga practice outside the study, which is not something that we can directly control. Hence why option D becomes the correct answer. Very good, guys. Let's move on to the next question. A major limitation of between subjects design compared to within subjects design is that? Very good. Is that it requires more participants. क्योंकि ज़्यादा groups होंगे तो participants ज़्यादा चाहिए होंगे. Great. Let's do this. Internal validity क्या होता है? Yes, very good. It is option D, where we are trying to understand if the IV is truly causing changes in DV. Okay. What is the greatest threat to internal validity? What is interrupting our cause and effect relationship? Very good. Confounding variables. Why? They are difficult to identify, they are difficult to control. Hence, it's the greatest threat. Very good, guys. And the last question for the day. A researcher randomly selects 200 college students from all colleges in a city to participate in a stress management study. The selected participants are then randomly assigned to either a mindfulness intervention group or a control group. What is happening in this study? Okay. Random sampling क्या हो रहा है? Random sampling में हमने क्या किया? Random sampling में हम population से sample में करते हैं. For example, हम अगर हमारा 100 है, 100 students में से हम 30 choose करते हैं. And how do we choose the sample? Sample in a manner which is representative of the population. Representative क्यों होगा? क्योंकि अगर 30 students के characteristics 100 students के साथ match करेंगे, तो क्या होगा? हमारी generalizability high होगी. Are you guys with me till here? Generalizability high होगी अगर random sampling करेंगे तो. और अगर हम random allocation करेंगे, random allocation करेंगे तो क्या होगा? Group differences जो है, group differences less होगा. अगर group differences अगर कम होगा तो क्या होगा? Participant variations कम होंगे. Now tell me what is the correct answer? खुशी part of sample है इसीलिए representative. Very good. Now the correct answer will become A. All right. Random sampling ना internal validity नहीं improve करती है. The random sampling, it will increase your external validity and not your internal validity. Okay. That is not something that will happen. Your random allocation will increase your internal validity. क्योंकि group differences कम होंगे, participant variation कम होंगे, तो extra factors कम होंगे. All right. Okay, I am done from my side. Before Vidhi and Manvi come and speak to you guys, is there a quick feedback that you guys would like to give me in terms of how was the session, how would you want the future, sessions to be like? Any changes or anything that you like which you would want to, which you would want me to continue doing in the future sessions? Any feedback is fine. Okay, Suridhi, thank you. We'll get more questions. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. This means a lot to me, guys. I am hoping to see you all in the future sessions as well. Thank you so much, and I am hoping that I will see you all soon. Manvi and Vidhi, you guys can come and take over.
Yes. So thank you so much for the session, Rishika. And I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it. And you did a great job at simplifying the concepts. Now, just a question from the class. Initially, we asked you for your ratings from 1 to 10, how confident you feel in stats, and a lot of you had rated 0, some of you had rated 2, 3, 4, 5. So now a revised rating to help us understand what your confidence now is. Okay, 10 on 10, that's good. Okay, 7, 8 on 10, 9 on 10, 8, 9. Yeah, so quite glad to see the rating move and transition from 0 to 8, 9, and 10. That's great. And Baki bhi, we have the PPTs and all. Once you attempt the mock tests, it will become full 10 on 10 for you. Yes. So, Rishika, do you want to say something? I guess you were trying to say something in between.
No, no, no. All good from my end. I'll just mute myself, I think. That will be
Okay. Yes. So while whatever we discussed today is important, but still, stats is extremely vast, and 1.5 hours may how much stats can we even cover? So that's why this is something that takes about 20 sessions of 2 hours each, where we take you from the very beginning. We start from the basics of stats and research, different variables, then we move on to hypothesis testing, errors in hypothesis, then basics of research. So entire curriculum is there. And problem is that, it is very scattered. There is often difficulty in understanding that कहाँ से करना है, कितना करना है, which resource do I need to use, and how much step do I need to go in? Should I do this? Should I not do this? Right? So that is why we are also sharing our course with you. NCLINSI and UGC NET preparation course. And Rishika will be teaching stats in that course as she did today. And we have different resource persons for other subjects. You have seen my teaching already. In the next session, we will have Ananya who will be taking biopsych. So all of these resource persons are expert in their own subject that they will be teaching. And along with that, they're also bringing in institute specific guidance because, you know, Rishika is from Christ. Now, Christ has a different way of asking questions. And Nanya is from Ibhas. Ibhas has a different style of asking questions. Ria ma'am is from NFSU, right? So everybody will be bringing in their own experience of giving different exams. And what we will be offering you is basically everything that you need. We are starting the course in the month of July itself, and we will make sure that the syllabus is completed by December so that you have good amount of 4 or 5 months or more for your revision also. And you don't really need to worry a lot on what do I need to do, what do I don't need to do, kitne depth mein jana hai, because our classes will be tailored accordingly only. And you have already seen our PPTs. We try to bring in content from multiple reference books rather than just one so that you don't have to worry that is it enough or do I need to still go here and there. And MCQ solving is there as you have seen today as well. Plus mock tests also we do offer it in our essential series. You have experienced our portal with the timer, negative marking, leaderboard analysis and all. Rest, doubt resolution is there in the classes. आपके जो भी doubts थे, I hope they have been resolved. And in case you're not able to attend the lecture, we have recordings also. So basically everything that you need in one place. It will help you complete 90 to 95% of the stuff. And because I know I have also been a master student and there are a lot of commitments, internship, research, dissertation, all of that is there, and attendance, all of those things की वजह से it gets difficult to focus on your preparation. So we don't want you to spend a lot of time figuring things out. Here you will get everything that you need. So your only task is to join at 8 p.m., dedicate those 2 hours on a daily basis, and that is it. We will be covering all the topics that are relevant for MCLINSci and UGC NET. The first 6 months will be there for completing the syllabus, and the months after that will be there for mock test practice, revisions, MCQs, and so on. And these are the resource persons. So you did meet Rishika today. You have met me also previously. You will be meeting Ananya in the next class, and subsequently there will be interactions with other resource persons also. Kashish is pursuing PsyD currently. Ria ma'am, as I said, she um, is from NFSU. She has completed it almost. Himanshi also from IBHAS. Aradhya ma'am from KGMU and Sakshi from Mahe. So these will be your resource persons. And we will actually share these posters with you already. We've tried to highlight how our course is different from other courses out there so that you can also compare and contrast for yourself before investing money and making an informed decision. So everything that we offer is right here. Please feel free to go through it. Right, as I said, our resource persons are quite diverse. Every person brings in their own experience and knowledge. Teaching style also आपने देख ही लिया class में, right? And rest, if you are interested, you can just text us. We launched this day before yesterday, and I think so far 20 seats are already gone. So we have about 30 more seats until the early bird gets closed. So yes, if you want, you can text us on WhatsApp or Instagram at the Cyclopedia, and we can just share this with you. Yes. So that is all from my end. Anything else that Rishika or Manvi you'd like to add? Yes, you will get practice test for this class also. And cost of the course, everything. So it is mentioned in the registration form itself. While we decide the pricing, we really take into consideration affordability because we don't want students to get any barrier to their preparation and education journey because of financial aspects. So we've tried to make it as affordable as possible without compromising on any quality. Yes. So yeah, you can just reach out to us if you're interested. And we will be meeting in the next class where Ananya will be taking you through biopsych. Yes.
Yes, I just wanted to answer this question. So someone has asked that will you be teaching stats from the very basics? So yes, we are going to cover statistics and research from the basics only. It is just that today, of course, like to understand experiments, you have to get a basic understanding of what variables are and what is the main type of sampling. So we had included some topics here, so it might have looked a little overwhelming for you. But when we actually study it in depth in the classes, there is one class dedicated to one topic, and then we build up on different the main topics of the complete stats and research one. So yes, if you are a bachelor student and if in case you don't have much information about stats and research, still the classes would be covering everything from the basics.
Yes. All right. So if anybody is interested, you can just reach out to us. You have our numbers from the WhatsApp group itself, and we'll share the details with you. Okay, so it was nice to interact with you. Thank you again, Rishika, for taking out your time and helping the audience with your knowledge and expertise. And we'll see you in the next class. All right, take care.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Welcome.